Hi friends, Debbie here. Today I want to talk about how to get rid of your stuff so that when you move overseas you don't have a huge storage shed to pay money to every month of things that you don't actually need. Now this does seem overwhelming of how in the world do you get rid of all of your stuff. For example, we live in a house and we have a dog, we have a baby, so there's a lot of random things that we have that we aren't going to necessarily bring overseas with us. So I kind of made 4 different categories that would help me not get overwhelmed as I'm going through this process. To give you a little reference, it's currently right now mid to beginning of April, and we would be moving mid-July. So we have about 3 months-ish, even though it's technically like 3.5 months. I'm not really counting those last 2 weeks because I want to spend those moments with my friends and family, making sweet memories together instead of frantically trying to get rid of everything. Now obviously we are going to be packing, so that will be stressful, but it's going to be less if we don't have a lot of stuff in our house. So here, let's go ahead and get started. Now, to get started, I would recommend having a little notebook. This is a notebook that I have from my good friend Wildfire Press. His name is Eric. He marbles paper, but then he also hand bounds journals and books. He makes the marbled paper, binds it into the book himself. They're really beautiful. So I would recommend checking out his shop. I'm going to link that in the description. And just jot down things as you go around your house and put them in these 4 categories that I'm going to talk about. Now the 4 categories are things to keep, things to give to friends, things to sell, and things to donate. Now I'm going to go through these one at a time and hopefully give you some tips and ideas about them. The first thing is things to keep. Now these would be like family heirlooms, things that are really precious and dear to your heart that are maybe like memorabilia, things like that. Now before maybe you get started on this whole getting rid of stuff journey, I would recommend reading the book The Magic of Tidying Up by Marie Kondo. She's a Japanese woman who's very famous for just organizing and everything. If you keep hearing that little buzzword of, you know, what sparks joy, that's from her. Now, you may not have to take away everything from her book, but what was really helpful for me is how she broke things down into categories so that you don't get overwhelmed of, you know, making a ginormous mess in your house. So she would recommend, you know, go through just your clothes, nothing else. Then go through your shoes, nothing else. And she kind of even does this step-by-step of what categories to even start with and what to end with. You know, of like books should maybe be towards the end, or memorabilia should be towards the end, instead of starting off with those because those are harder to get rid of. So I would highly recommend her book. I'm going to put that link also in the description below if you want to buy that. So the first category again is things to keep. Those would be like family heirloom items. For example, when we first got married and moved into our 1-bedroom apartment, so that was before this house, we had a lot of furniture pieces from our family. And so as we are starting this process, I actually went and whenever they visited, I asked them, hey, what are some of these items that you had given to us that you want us to keep and things that you don't really care about? And honestly, they mostly forgot about everything that they had given because, again, they've lived without it, you know, for a while. So I would recommend, you know, if you have things from other people, go ahead and ask them first and then put that in the to keep section. Again, that list shouldn't be that big, to be honest. I even wrote actually silverware because our silverware is really nice. And if we ever move back, like 5 years down the road or something, I like my silverware and I want to keep it, which sounds super silly. But again, it sparks joy, so I'm going to keep it. And it doesn't take up too much space. I'm obviously going to add to these categories. This was kind of just, I quickly went around the house and jotted some things down. The second category is to friends. So things that you have noticed that whenever your friends come to your house, they were like, oh my gosh, I love that mirror, or oh, I love these mugs, you know, whatever. So take a mental note of that. And what I plan on doing for my friends and family is essentially having an intimate garage sale for just people that I know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around our house and mark things either for free or put a little price tag on them. And obviously tell your friends and family that this is something that they need money for. Again, it's like a garage sale, and that they should come with empty, cars and trucks and things like that. And I want them to come and essentially just go around our house, look at all the price tags or little stickers that say free, whatever, and grab whatever they want. We'll have a nice party out of it. Again, spending those precious moments with them before we move overseas. I'm super excited about doing this. I'm probably going to do it more like in June or May or June, kind of that midway towards the end point. Actually, I should probably do it earlier. But anyways, that's the second category, to friends and family. The third category are things to sell. So these are like your bigger ticket items that you know that you want to get rid of, but you know you can maybe make some money off of them. For example, we have 2 couches. They're not like the best condition. They were already secondhand when we got them. But I know couches, I can sell them, even if it's for 50 bucks, you know, super cheap, whatever. I can use that money. Our plan is to save that money so then when we go overseas, we're going to use that money for our household items that we may need when we're there. So making a list of things like our 2 couches, a big mirror that we have, a dresser, our mattress, our bed frame. Those are the things that I've written down so far for things to sell. I've actually already started selling things. The places that I sell my stuff are Facebook, to be honest, because it's easier that way. You can also do Craigslist or eBay if you have like bigger like electronic kind of items, or if you have clothing that is brand name or antiques or whatever, you can go to like eBay for those kinds of things and do bidding. That's just too much work for me, to be honest. So that's my third category, or things to sell. And then the fourth category is to donate. So things that, you know, are pretty well worn, you're not going to get money from it, or they're even things that you tried to sell but they just didn't sell. So those are things to donate. You don't really want to throw things into the trash and fill up our landfills even more. Someone else's, you know, whatever is your trash is someone else's treasure, whatever that quote is. So try to donate. So those are the 4 categories that I have kind of used as a guideline, to friends, to keep, to sell, and to donate. So those are 4 categories that help me kind of navigate our home and help me not get super overwhelmed about it. And I just write those things down as I either think of them, or if I'm in the mood, I'll kind of go around a certain room and jot all those items down on my paper or in my notebook. And then kind of slowly, you want to start now. Start doing all this stuff now. Those little bit at a time that you can do, the less that you'll have to do at the very end, because again, you want to keep that time for your family and friends. So, for example, a couple weekends ago, my husband and I, we just went through our kitchen. Like, he went through our pantry, that also kind of doubles as like a storage. So he went through that as I went through most of the cabinets, and we got rid of a lot of food that we, you know, always kept or were given to us but we never used. And then, you know, different pots and pans that were super old that they're kind of jammed in the back that we never used either. So we made piles for just getting rid of, and then we did piles to donate. To be honest, the kitchen items, at least the things that we were getting rid of, it wasn't worth trying to sell them and, you know, going through the whole hassle of taking pictures and loading and keeping up with everyone contacting you. So we're just going to donate a lot of those kitchen items. And then this week I actually noticed underneath our sink in our bathroom, like of our personal items, it's kind of getting overwhelming and crowded. It's not a huge thing to worry about, I guess, but, you know, if I'm motivated to go through that and get rid of things or sell things or give to friends, I'm gonna jump on that and just do it. Alright, sorry about that, guys. Apparently my battery died while I was filming before. It's been a few hours. My dog is right outside the door, so you might hear her little jingles. Anyways, I hope this video was helpful for you. If you have any other suggestions or tips, if you went through this process just recently, or if you're going through it right now and you have any ideas of what could help us get rid of all of our stuff as we're getting ready to move, please let me know in the comments below. As a reminder, I do have the Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up by Marie Kondo, the link in the description box, as well as Wildfire Press, his shop for those handbound journals, if you're interested in those. And I hope you have an awesome day and that you don't get overwhelmed getting rid of all your stuff. I'll see you next time. Bye.